Phantom Nightmare has turned Raidraptor into a meta contending deck. I know in my last tier list I put Raidraptors in experimental, but now the experiments are over. I have concocted a consistent Raidraptor deck that makes ferocious combos, and today I'm gonna be sharing them with you, big dog. Let's jump on in. So there's a couple of reasons why I think Raidraptors are an incredible deck post Phantom Nightmare. The first is the deck has a ton of one-card combos that I'll show you later, but since it is one-card combos, that means the other 4 cards in your hand can either be extension if your opponent decides to disrupt you, or disruptive cards in themselves, making your combo even stronger. I also wanted to point out, if you like the accessories that you see, this is a new Theloma mat, and we'll be having the information for you very soon. And if you wanted to get the sleeves or some more amazing merch, you can go to TheCaliEffect.com and get yours before it's too late. Let's go ahead and start off with the deck profile and break down why I played these cards and why do I play so many. The first is going to be the starters. Now, these cards are one-card combos, and the starters that I play is 3 copies of Raidraptor Tribute Lanius. Easily one of the best cards in the deck, and what I like about this particular deck is that even all of your starter monsters, they don't have to be your normal summoned monster. Oftentimes throughout your combo, you can special summon your starter monsters and continue on. The next monster that I'm playing is the new copies, or the new cards, Raidraptor Lanius. Now again, the reason why I say that these are the starter cards is because just one of either of these cards is your full combo that I will show you later. But even if these cards do get disrupted, there are plenty of ways to continue on to your combo. Raidraptor actually plays a ton of extender cards. In order to make your deck one of the best decks in the game, not only do you need a way to consistently get to your starter, but you also need a consistent way to get into your extender cards or have a consistent amount in case you get stopped. This deck plays 14. And the best thing about Raidraptors is that you don't necessarily need your starter cards. Any 2 winged beast monsters in your deck is full combo. So basically any 2 of these extension cards is also still full combo. For the extensions, there's 3 copies of Raidraptor Lanius. This is easily one of the best cards in the deck. Then there's the new 3 copies of Raidraptor Bloom Vulture, a very welcomed card. What really trips me out about Raidraptor Bloom Vulture is its card text. To be able to clarify, you can summon this card if you have no monsters on your field, or if all monsters are winged beasts. The only drawback to this card is that you can't use this effect to summon if you summon a monster that is not dark, and that's typically not a problem. Now, some more crazy extenders for this deck is I play 2 copies of Samorg Bird of Perfection, and ironically, your other extension card is that you play 2 copies of Raider's Wing. One thing that I've noticed about a lot of Raidraptor decks is that they are playing Phantom Knight's Silent Boots in their deck. The problem with Phantom Knight's Silent Boots is that it does nothing for your deck outside of being a target for Rusty Bardish, where Raider's Wing does so many things. It's an extender, but also it is a target for Rusty Bardish since it is always a Phantom Knight and a Raidraptor card. I think the problem with the Raidraptor community and the way that players view Raidraptor decks is that they try to make some ultra unstoppable combo. You don't need to do that. I wanted every single one of my cards to be consistent and serve multiple purposes, and for the most part, I've pretty much achieved that. There's 1 copy of Raidraptor Singing Lanius, 1 copy of Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, and 1 copy of Pain Lanius, alongside of 1 copy of the Phantom Knight Shade Brigandine. With 14 extender cards alongside of 5 starter cards, that gives you 19 ways to be able to go full combo. In this deck, I gotta tell you, there's actually 22 ways, meaning that 50% of the deck is not only dedicated to going full combo, but also allowing you to play through your opponent's interruptive cards. And of course, I will explain why this is actually 22 ways to go full combo in a second. But moving on, we need to talk about some search cards. What Raidraptors once lacked was recovery and being able to get back your cards. I play 1 copy of Raidraptor Mimicry Lanius. This allows you to be able to search Raidraptor cards from your deck to your hand, but the recovery cards that I was talking about is Raidraptor's Roost. This card is incredibly important for the Raidraptor deck because a lot of times you go through a ton of your extra deck cards and you gonna want them back. But more importantly, this card also pretty much allows you to play forever by being a mini Pot of Avarice. It's pretty insane, and you actually want this card in your hand. Lastly, for the search cards is Raidraptor's Nest. This card also allows you to be able to recover, as it can add from your graveyard to your hand, but a lot of times you will use Raidraptor's Roost to search Raidraptor's Nest to be able to get an additional extender depending on your situation. Now, one thing that I absolutely love about this deck is that all of the cards that I just showed you in conjunction with one of another makes full combo. And a lot of times you think that your power cards, if you draw them, you're in a bad spot, but the difference between this deck and a lot of decks, if you draw your power cards alongside of your 1 and 2 card full combos, your combo's even bigger. bigger. My power cards are 2 copies of Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force. This card is incredible. I want you guys to think outside of the box for this card. Yes, it is typically used to be able to summon Dark Requiem to your side of the field to get multiple disruptions. But the crazy thing about this card is that if you banish enough dark monsters in your graveyard, you can exceed summon to virtually anything in your deck, including the new rank 13 monster on your opponent's turn. Fortunately enough, we don't have to resort to those matters. I do play 1 copy of Rise Up Rank Up Magic Raidraptor's Force, the new card. It's actually bonkers, and there's a couple of combos to be able to exceed summon into Rising Rebellion Falcon on your opponent's turn with 3 materials, meaning that you get to destroy all of your opponent's monsters and inflict the damage to them. Even if you're going against a deck like Fire Kings that would benefit off of their cards being destroyed, a lot of times you can burn them for gain. I would say that Rank Up Magic Raidraptor's Force isn't necessary, but 1 copy of Rank Up Magic Skip Force is. This is a pivotal part of your deck as it allows you to be able to change your Raidraptor Brave Strix into your Raidraptor Arsenal Falcon. And then lastly for our power cards is Raidraptor Glorious Bright. I like this card because not only is it an Omni Disruption to be able to stop any card on my opponent's field, but it also can get itself out of the graveyard to make sure your Phantom Knight's Shade Brigandine is always live. But now that I'm done talking about the power cards, I'm actually going to talk about the disruptive cards. The best thing about this deck, it plays 14 of them, meaning that the odds of you being able to go full combo and still have disruptive cards to stop your opponent is incredibly high. But I also wanted to note about this deck is that it does contain 22 ways to go full combo, and that card is actually, ironically, Kashtira Fenrir. Ironically enough, Kashtira Fenrir is the top disruptive card in Yu-Gi-Oh! But if you don't just so happen to draw any of your 19 starters and extenders, this card itself is full combo, and it's complemented by the Kashtira Rise Art. Of course, if you stick around, I'll share with that in the combo tutorial, but let's blaze through these other interruption cards. There's 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 copies of Jolin Logbird, probably one of the best cards post Phantom Nightmare. There's 2 copies of Ghost Bell. This card's really good against decks like Fire Kings and the Sinful Spoils engine. And then lastly is 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, making this a 42 card deck. Hypothetically, guys, if you can't afford your Kashtira Fenrirs, you can go ahead and drop all of the Fenrirs plus a Rise Art, and you can play more interruptive cards. Yes, you do lose out on a monster that could be an interruption and go full combo, but what you do gain here is more money in your wallet. The extra deck, I'm going to blaze through this as it's pretty self-explanatory. There's 1 copy of Raidraptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. There's 1 copy of Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon. This is optional. 1 copy of Raidraptor Arsenal Falcon. 1 copy of Brave Strix. 1 Arc Rebellion. 1 Dark Requiem. 1 Dark Rebellion XE Dragon, 2 copies of Raider's Knight, really important. There's 2 copies of Raidraptor's Force Strix, 1 Time Thief Redoer, 1 Rusty Bardish, 1 Wise Strix, and 1 Little Knight. If you guys cannot afford Little Knight, just play another Wise Strix. And that's it for the main board and the extra deck, guys. I'm actually excited to show you these amazing combos. All right, guys, so on to the combo section. I do want to note to you guys, I will be putting test hands of this deck alongside of the other decks that I've done just recently on my Patreon as a special thank you for helping me pay my editors. Thank you guys so much for your patience. But let's go ahead and talk about why Raidraptor Tribute Lanius by itself is a full combo. You actually start off by normal summoning the Raidraptor's Tribute Lanius, and then you're going to use its effect to be able to send Raidraptor Mimicry to your graveyard. I'm going to use the Mimicry's effect to be able to add Raidraptor Strangle Lanius, and then I'll summon Strangle Lanius to my side of the field. Well, both the Strangle Lanius and the Tribute Lanius, I use them for an XE summon into Raider's Knight, and then I use the effect of Raider's Knight detaching the Tribute Lanius to be able to rank up our Raider's Knight into our Raidraptor Brave Strix. Brave Strix will then activate its effect, detaching the monster from material. You don't want to detach the Exceed monster to be able to add 1 rank up magic card from your deck to your hand. That's going to be rank up Magic Skip Force. Use the Make Up Magic Skip Force to turn your Brave Strix into your Raidraptor Arsenal Falcon. And now you can use Raidraptor Arsenal Falcon detaching any material from your monster to be able to special summon another copy of Raidraptor Strangle Lanius. Now, because there is an XE monster with XE material, you can use the other effect of Strangle Lanius to summon one of your level 4 monsters to your side of the field, and then you use that one in Arsenal Falcon for a link summon into your Raidraptor Wise Strix. Use both the effect of your Wise Strix and your Arsenal Falcon here. You can special summon out Raidraptor Force Strix to your side of the field, and then using the effect of your Wise Strix, you can special summon your Blackwing Zephyros. Now, of course, the effect of Raidraptor's Wise Strix will trigger here since you did use an Exceed Monster's effect. You are supposed to set a rank up spell card to your side of the field, and here's where the tricky part gets. If you want to be able to make monsters like Time Thief Redoer, you need to be able to set Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force right here. If you already have Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force, then you set the Rise Rank Up Magic Raidraptor's Force. And as an extended portion of this combo, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Let's just say we have the Rank Up Magic or the Rise Rank Up Magic Raidraptor's Force in our hand. We will set the Magic's Force. Keep in mind, it can be used this turn. We'll then use 4 Strix, detaching 1 material. We will add the Raidraptor Sinking Lanius, and because we control an Xyz monster, we can summon it. Use the Raidraptor's Wide Strix and the 4 Strix for a Link Summon into your Phantom Knight's Rusty Bardish. And then Rusty will send Raider's Wing to the graveyard to be able to set Shade Brigandine to your side of the field. You can activate the effects of Shade Brigandine, summon it to your side of the field, and use it with an Xyz summon in your Blackwing Zephyros into a Time Thief Redoer. And here is actually where we have a ton of decision lines. So hypothetically, guys, there is an inboard where you use both your Laniuses for an Xyz summon into Xyz Dark Rebellion Dragon, and then on your opponent's turn, you can use your Rank Up's Magic, Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic to turn your Dark Rebellion into a Dark Requiem, allowing you to use Rusty Bardish to destroy a card, and using Dark Requiem's effect to be able to special summon from the graveyard and negate your opponent's monster effects. I'll explain that in a second. But there's also another combo line, guys. Let's just say we don't want to do that combo line. You can actually just detach a material from Blackwing Zephyros to summon Raider's Wing to your side of the field. Then you can use Raidraptor Sinking Lanius and your Raider's Wing for your Xyz summon into Dark Rebellion. This card can now not be targeted. You can then activate the effect of Blackwing Zephyros to return your Phantom Knight's Rusty Bardish to your hand to summon itself to the side of the field. And then you can use both your Sinking Lanius and your Blackwing Zephyros for a Link Summon into SP Little Knight. Immediately activate the effect of your Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force, banishing your Blackwing Zephyros to be able to summon Requiem to your side of the field. In this particular situation, you don't have to wait into the standby phase to be able to Xyz summon into Requiem, and you get 3 interruptions off of 1 card, but there's still more. Hypothetically, like I said, I had Rise Up Rank Up Magic's Raidraptor's Force. Well, Requiem actually has a really interesting effect. If it just so happens to negate a monster effect, it can summon 1 Xyz monster from your graveyard to your side of the field. You can use that to be able to summon monsters like Raider's Knight. But since Raider's Knight is always treated as a Raidraptor monster, you can even use the effect of Rise Up Rank Up's Magic's Force to be able to combine both Raider's Knight, the Raidraptor Force, and your Raidraptor Brave Strix, which 4 + 4 + 5 is 13, into Rising Rebellion on your opponent's turn, which allows you to destroy all their cards on the field and inflict burn damage. And it's crazy how this deck operates. The 2-card combo for this deck is fairly similar, but you wind up with this board. It's the exact same thing, except 1 more monster. Or a lot of times you can get your Raidraptor's Roost and your Raidraptor's Glorious Bright to be able to negate a card effect. If you guys want to see a duel using this deck as an example and all of the combos and stuff, go ahead and check this video out. But I bet you're probably wondering why is or how is Kashtira Fenrir a 1-card combo. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that right now. So the cool thing about Kashtira Fenrir being a 1-card combo is that you can summon Fenrir and then use his effect to get Rise Heart. Do not activate the effect of Rise Heart or you'll be locked into Xyz. You normal summon the Kashtira Rise Heart and use his effect to banish a Fenrir to make it 7. Now you use both of these monsters immediately for an Xyz summon into your Raidraptor Arsenal Falcon. Use the effect of Arsenal Falcon, detaching the Fenrir. The reason why I do the Fenrir here is if my opponent had a card like Effect Veiler or an Infinite Impermanence, I don't give them a fire monster to be able to make Prometheus. To summon Tribute Lanius, our starter for the deck, use Tribute Lanius to be able to send Mimicry. Now use the effect of Mimicry to be able to add Raidraptor Roost from your deck to your hand and activate it. Use the Arsenal Falcon and your Tribute Lanius for a Link Summon into your Raidraptor Y Strix. Now, Raidraptor Y Strix effect will activate the special summon, but you'll also get the effect of Roost too. Add Raidraptor Nest from your deck to your hand, and then special summon out any Raidraptor. I like Nord Lanius because it can modify levels. Next, you're going to use the effect of Raidraptor Nest. You're going to add Strangle Lanius to your hand and then special summon it. Use both the Nor and the Strangle Lanius for an Xyz summon into your Raider's Knight, and then use the effect of Raider's Knight to turn itself into a Brave Strix. Trigger the effect of Y Strix to be able to set the Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force to your side of the field, and then use the effect of your Brave Strix to detach the Lanius to be able to add Rank Up Magic Skip Force to your hand. From here, you can use the effect of Raidraptor Roost. You'll return the Arsenal Falcon, the Mimicry, and the Strangle Lanius back into your deck to draw 1 additional card. And now Skip Force can be used on your Brave Strix. You summon out the Arsenal Falcon. And the ridiculous thing about Arsenal Falcon here is that it's not once per turn. So you can go ahead and actually activate the effect of Arsenal Falcon again to be able to special summon a Raidraptor monster from your deck. We'll special summon out the Raidraptor Stranglenius. Strangle bring back the Lenore. Link with the Arsenal Falcon and the Y-Strix. Summon out Rusty Bardish and use the effect of your Arsenal Falcon. You can summon out Raidraptor 4 Strix for additional search or follow-up, but I'm going to go ahead and summon out the Ultimate Falcon and attach the Arsenal to it. Send the Raider's Wings to be able to set the Shade Brigadine. Use the Shade Brigadine to bring itself to the side of the field and Exceed summon into your Redoer. Then detach the Arsenal Falcon to bring out your Raider's Wing and these two monsters back for an Exceed summon into your Dark Rebellion, which you can use the Phantom Knight's rank up magic to make Dark Requiem immediately, or you can hold on to it. The choice is yours. But that's all that I have for Raidraptors and why I think it is a crazy good deck. Of course, Big Dog, if you want to see more amazing content, then be sure to check out these other videos. And also, be sure to get your merch today at TheCaliEffect.com. Till then, catch you on the next video.